Mr. Lumene.
Welcome to the Voice of the Prophet. I'm your host, Prophet Lumene Chenet. Today we have a discussion based on my new book, Godly Relationship in Marriage. This is important discussion because we are living in a time where culture and emotion, it's a lot of confusion when it comes to relationship. So we're gonna have a small five-session segment with my new guest. Please joining me today is Bree from BreeMedia, and it is such an honor to have you. And I'm excited for me to have a sit down with you. I know you come all the way from Savannah.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! So
Yes.
I'm so happy. It is truly an honor. And the first segment we're going to talk about is what makes a woman godly beyond appearance. I truly believe that this segment is important because we have a lot of people who focuses on appearance more than character, more than personality, and more than building the inward other than the outward appearance. And a lot of people have made this a focus, and then they build an image, for men to see, but deep inside they are broken. And this is why we are talking about this first segment. What makes a woman godly beyond appearance? What are your thoughts?
I believe a woman's owns a deal of her self-worth, her sense of character, her beliefs, her morals, all of how she feels within herself. Definitely not needing any kind of validation from anybody to know what she's worth or who she feels she should be as far as for making her own identity in the world. I also feel like by also believing in the only opinion and only person that she should care about as far as for how she feels, who's looking at her, is just God.
That's right. Because several times we find people who neglected who they are in the inside, and then they build an image for people to see. But deep inside they are dealing with certain situation in their lives. They are broken, they are hurt, and they don't know how to move with this brokenness in their lives. And I believe that the outward appearance, has values, but it shouldn't be the main focus. Because if you are, if you have a bad attitude, or you deeply broken in the inside, and you should be able to know how to manage these little things inside of you, because character is a big thing. A lot of people in relationship has many different issues because of the lack of character and personality. They don't know how to talk to people. They have a bad attitude. They don't know how to respond to certain situation that they are going through because of the lack of character and personality. Because remember, some things that you go through in life can shape you into the wrong attitude. And now you're going to have to take those things and bring it in other people's lives. Now, remember, we are, there are so many different personalities, and especially when you're in a relationship, you entering into the person's world, just as they are entering into yours. So if your world is shaped in a way that is built on all kinds of things that, hurt, pains that you have not healed from, you're going to affect somebody else in that relationship.
I do, and I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. So usually I know that everybody all has insecurities and little self-doubts about themselves, but I do believe, like, far as for when you are entering a relationship,
Right.
never let that be like the first and only thing you want your partners or soon-to-be partner to know about you. Like, because I feel like by doing that, you're also creating that kind of book where if they tell you something like, oh, you look beautiful today, and you're like, no, I don't. Do you not see my arms? Do you not see how big and all? And then it's just like, by you telling them or not accepting the positive energy they're trying to give you by responding negative, then they're going to start looking at you in that negative light.
Wow.
Or whenever you're in an argument or so, or feeling, or, they feel the need to kind of throw that out in your face. And that's why
Right.
I feel like, whenever you should never just always have that on your shoulders. Like, have that, but keep that very preserved. Especially in the beginning of a relationship, don't ever let what you think about yourself, especially in whatever the bad parts are or things that you are still trying to heal from. Let that control the narrative of how you want your partner to look at you.
Right. Because you know what you said is certainly true, because you have people who so concerned about the wrong things instead of focusing on what can shape them, you know, better. Because a lot of people who are insecure about themselves don't know how to take positive compliments.
And you find out a lot. You find out a lot in our area of space, like in media and photography. Like,
wow.
Yeah, it's
they
surprising.
just can't see it.
Yeah,
you see all the things, but they just can't see it. And if they and that's another problem, because if you don't believe in something, me believing it for you, it's never gonna get you there. You gotta get yourself there to believe what I see. Right. And most of the time, this is what we don't see. We don't see certain things about our lives or concerning ourselves, and other people can see it. And the fact that we can't see it, we make things so hard to move forward if we can just get out of your head sometimes and accept certain things. So the second segment is submission misunderstood. This is is biblical submission is not weaknesses, because people think that, if I have to submit to someone, then that makes me weak, especially if you've been through it. You get what I'm saying to you? So biblical submission is not weaknesses. It is the beauty of a woman. Not from the world now. Through the eyes of the world, it shows that person's weaknesses. But in the eyes of God, it shows the beauty of a person. Because regardless of the case in our lives, everyone has to be submissive to something. You get what I'm saying? Or to someone. Because if you don't, if you're a person who is not practice submission, then you're gonna have a lot of problems in your life. Because in every area of life, whether if it's a job, whether if it's relationship, whether it's with your kids, your parents, there has to be submission somewhere where that has to become practical in your life. Yeah. You may not be submissive to everybody else, but there's somebody in your life that you are submissive to, and that person has the power to either break you or make you. So submission is not the problem here. It's whom you are submissive to. If you're in submission to the wrong leadership, you're going to have a bad experience. And you're going to think that something is wrong with being submissive. Now you're going to have a guard up to against all kinds of leadership. Why? Because of one thing that you misunderstood. So what are your thoughts concerning that?
I do believe that. Like, I feel like somebody definitely have to make you feel comfortable with being submissive and vulnerable. You can't just, and you also can't just give that to anybody.
That's right.
Because by being submissive to everyone and everybody too soon, people could take that as a weakness. Now, I'll say with my own personal experience, like, I'm not able to be too submissive in a relationship because at an early, very vulnerable age in my life, when I tried to have that moment with my dad, it's like he didn't take it as if I thought he would. Now, for him coming from having two boys and then having his youngest girl, I didn't really think at the time he really understood what kind of vulnerability you got to have by raising a daughter. So by him giving me more of the cold shoulder and being real nonchalant about it, excuse me, it made me feel more. They have to have more of a guard, be more harder, and like crying was just not a thing. I never wiped my tears away so fast, and from that point on, I felt like I can't be really vulnerable with nobody, or like if I can't be too soft or so. So growing up as a woman, or girl growing into a woman, I never tried to be too vulnerable, be too sweet, or like anytime I found like a girl being like crying or being all fritzy and all this, I was just like, that's not me, that's not cool. But as I go into womanhood, I realize like,
it's okay to cry.
It's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be vulnerable. But I feel like, once you do, and I did eventually experience like being able to be vulnerable with somebody, it's able to help you like kind of be more sweet and just really kind of experience more of that softer side.
You see, I've learned some things over the years about leadership in a relationship. Proper leadership in a relationship always examine those weaknesses to help the person grow or come out of whatever the circumstances may be, but it is not every man that has the wisdom and the knowledge to know how to navigate through those circumstances. Because there was a point in my life where when I was immature, growing in my marriage, my relationship today with my wife, in the early age, I had this one lack of understanding. I had an idea of what it means to be a man, but not the proper understanding of what it means to be a man. Because to be matured as a man is all about humility, all about wisdom, and all about proper leadership. So when I was in the stage, every little thing, just if I don't understand it, then I gotta shut it down. You know what I'm saying? So it was a problem because that was inconsiderate of me, because it puts me in a position of a bad leadership. Just because you don't understand something doesn't mean it's not right.
Right.
You see that, right? So maturity will show you that you have to examine the situation to find the understanding within it, because regardless if it's wrong or not, there is something to examine within the situation that's going to bring light of the proper approach or how to bring peace in it.
Right.
And most of the time, and that's where I believe most men fail when it comes to leadership in a relationship. Because when something is going on, they don't understand it, because we are built that way. We have the characteristic of shutting it down or execute, but while women think before they do everything in life. But if we see it, we go for it. But women takes time and the patience to do something before they even go towards the goal or whatever the case may be. And this is why I honor women who function with wisdom and who have the understanding. Though I lacked in the area of leadership, but there's one thing I understand. I understand how to adapt to certain things. So I always say this all the time. God raised a man out of me through my wife. Why? Because though I'm failing, I'm learning how to become better. Right. So sometimes she'll give me soft answers. Let's just say, for example, there was a situation that happened, something that happened, a concert. I was having a concert and something happened, and then I snapped. But in me snapping at her, she gave me a gentle answer, and it bothers me for the rest of my life. Because I felt like, what kind of woman would she be for her to respond with such kindness towards something that was aggressive? That tells me everything I needed to know about her. From that day, I fell in love with her even more. Because a lot of people said, oh, behind every great man, you need a great woman. No, you need a woman of humility. A woman who humbles themselves is worthy to be praised. Why? Because she knows, no matter how aggressive you are, she knows how to bring you down. Just with her gentleness, with her character and personality, she's able to tame anyone. I don't care who you are. A woman who is humbled knows how to tame you. Because only if a person has issues for them not to realize, okay, I need to calm down. So this is where it is so important. So the third part that we're going to talk about is supporting without losing identity. So this discussion is how a woman can be a helper, wife, a partner to help the men become more understanding. You see, that's the thing that I just touched on. What are your thoughts concerning that?
So in order to be supportive and not be, I would say, like, definitely keeping an open mind, communication, definitely, being able to talk about things even when you can't talk about them, and to also make it a non-judgment zone as well.
If my wife at the time was judging me, we probably wouldn't even enter into a covenant at that time. Two different worlds coming together to merge into one. So how do you make that work? So think about it. One has to be more patient than the other.
Right.
So now, because she was more patient with me in my process, so now I become just like her now. We both are patient people. We both are understanding people. And then when she, for her to see where I come from to where I am now, it surprises her. So now, when a man show proper leadership, there's no way you can trust that person with everything of you. And this is where I don't resist any women who put their guard up against men who have lack of leadership, because just because you're a man doesn't mean that you're matured. Just because you are grown does not mean that you have maturity, because maturity has a character and has a personality which you have to maintain, and it has some sort of patience you have to maintain. So how you respond to the problems and the conflicts will tell a lot about you.
How you respond and also the tone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How you respond, because remember, gentleness has everything to do with love. Everything to do with love. That's why I become more gentle every day. Remember what I said to you. I was aggressive. My wife gave me a gentle answer. It tormented my mind. I said, man, what kind of woman would you be? Because usually, if you're feeling someone an energy, people tend to give you that same energy back. And that's why I'm against when people say, well, if you give me bad energy, whatever bad energy you give me, that's what you get. No, you're supposed to be the opposite. So you can't judge someone and then you do the same too. Right. So, but if you do the opposite, then you'll be in a better position to make the proper judgment. You get what I'm saying? That is true. So number 4 is preparing for covenant before marriage. So now, this session is why is it important for healing, emotional stability, spiritual maturity, and understanding must come before entering into a covenant. Because a lot of people rush the process of relationship and pay the consequences later on.
You definitely want to give yourself patience to heal. You definitely want to give yourself time to regroup, focus more on yourself, figure out what is that you want to have, what is that you want in the relationship, and how can you go about make sure you're your best self to accept what you want. I also believe into still trusting in God, don't rush it in the process, and it would also have to be just maintaining and keeping a positive mindset.
It's okay now. It's okay. I want you to know that you're safe here. It's okay to cry if you have to, because I know there's some sensitive stuff, but it's okay.
Yes. So yes, being able to cry for sure, and but don't let it get the best of you, for sure.
So many people have fear when it comes to bringing a change in somebody's life. Just like I was telling you earlier, relationship is like buying and renting. Whoever was in the house prior did some damage, and the landlord have to fix and get it ready for the next renter or the next buyer that's gonna come through, right? Mm-hmm. So when you first buy a home or rent a place, you have to design the place your way. You have to design the place the way you see fit. So it's the same way when somebody comes into your life. If they don't like your attitude, instead of whining about it, complaining about it, or fighting against the person for it, fix it. If you don't like something, fix it in the person, and you can. You have the power and the ability to do it. Why? Because if you really love the person and the person loves you, they're going to make it work or compromise it to make it work. So, but most of the time, the individual see it as a threat, see it as something that they cannot bear. But only do they know that they have the power to change that. Because when you enter into a place, whatever the way the person who was there before decorate the house, that's not the same way you're gonna see. That's not the same vision you're gonna have. You're gonna have a completely different vision. So now you have to build it that way. So it's the lack of patience that will make you run away. You know how many people just enter into a place, they do 1 year, they already want to move into a next place. Why? Because they're not comfortable anymore. Why? Because comfortability is not find. You have to create the comfortability. Oh, I think I just preached right there. I think I just preached right there. You have to create the comfortability. Because remember, that's a complete stranger. How do you become comfortable with someone you've never known? How do you end up loving somebody you've never known? Because you create the comfortability. It could be a simple conversation that led you to the comfortability for you to be so comfortable enough to say, you know what, I want to marry you. How did you create that? See, sometimes we do things unconsciously because we're not paying attention. In relationship, in marriage, it's all about paying attention. If you pay attention to the very little details, you will see your whole path in the future. You will see exactly where you're going to end up with that woman. You know exactly where you're going to end up with the man. If it is 10 years from now, or 20 years from now, 30 years from now, that's how a matured man can say that, you know what, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Because they already examine everything. Humbling yourself is not weaknesses. Like I said, in the eyes of men, in the eyes of the world, it will always look like it's a weakness. But to God, you're following principles and he will always protect you from it. Now, Jesus didn't go around and healing everybody just because he was the Son of God. Everything has a principle and it has a self-control. When you have self-control, you're able to navigate through anything in life properly without making or repeating another mistake. Okay, so now what would you say to someone out there who's been in a position that you were in? How would you counsel or advise someone who is not patient with themselves as you were once in your life? How would you counsel that person today? That's your camera right there.
Give yourself grace. Give yourself time. Never downplay, what you feel that you lack or what you feel that you don't have. Give yourself time to build those relationships or build those burdens and heal that inner child of yourself. And, love on you until you find somebody that can add to that same kind of love you give yourself. Never undervalue yourself.
That's right.
And most importantly, put God first.
Listen.
Put God first.
We have come to the last segment of the talk. This is a talk about godly relationship in marriage based on my book. So please go on Amazon right now and get your copy. And listen, we have more talk that is coming. You never know who's going to be next. So make sure you tune in, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook. And you can follow her page at BreeMedia, right?
At _BreeMedia.
_BreeMedia. I'm telling you, this one here in the city of Savannah, Georgia. Waycross, Douglas, wherever you are, trust me, she's going to get you right. There's no distance to this business. You just got to reach out, okay? God bless you guys. We'll see you guys on the next episode of Godly Relationship in Marriage and the Voice of the Prophet. God bless you guys.